Greetings, fellow soil stewards and garden enthusiasts. Welcome back to the Humus Heritage, where we dig deep into nature's most profound lessons. Today, we're embarking on an extraordinary journey beneath the canopy, into the forest floor's hidden realm where infinite fertility is born without human hands ever touching the soil. If you've ever marveled at how ancient forests thrive in perpetual abundance, producing generation after generation of vibrant plant life with zero fertilizer bags, irrigation systems, or weekend maintenance routines, you're about to discover the elegant system that makes it all possible. This isn't just theory. These are practical, proven principles you can implement in your own garden starting today. Stand at the edge of any mature forest and witness something truly remarkable. Towering trees, lush understory plants, and carpets of ferns flourish in staggering diversity and vigor, yet nobody is out there spreading synthetic fertilizers or amending the soil with store-bought products. The forest floor operates as a self-perpetuating fertility factory, churning out nutrient-rich soil year after year through an ingenious system that has evolved over millions of years. The question that should captivate every gardener is deceptively simple. How does nature achieve this effortless abundance? The answer lies in understanding and replicating the intricate layered system working beneath that carpet of fallen leaves. Once you grasp these principles, you'll never look at your garden the same way again, and you'll realize that most conventional gardening advice has been leading us away from, rather than toward, true soil fertility. Beneath every leaf, twig, and decomposing log exists an invisible universe of staggering complexity and beauty. This hidden world is dominated by mycorrhizal fungi, ancient organisms that form symbiotic partnerships with over 90% of terrestrial plants. These fungi extend delicate, high-fall threads throughout the soil, creating networks that can span acres and effectively function as nature's underground internet. Through these connections, fungi colonize plant roots and broker an elegant trade. The plants provide sugars produced through photosynthesis, while the fungi deliver water and nutrients, especially phosphorus, nitrogen, and micronutrients, that would otherwise remain locked away and inaccessible to plant roots alone. This relationship represents one of nature's most successful partnerships, predating even the dinosaurs. The fungal networks extend the effective reach of plant roots by up to 1,000 times, exploring soil volumes and microscopic pore spaces that roots simply cannot access. Beyond nutrient exchange, these fungi produce glomalin, a sticky protein compound that literally glues soil particles together, creating stable aggregates that resist erosion and improve water infiltration. The mycorrhizal networks also connect different plants, allowing them to share resources and even communicate warnings about pest attacks. When you understand this symbiosis, you realize that plants in nature are never truly individuals, but participants in a vast, cooperative web of life. Walk onto a forest floor and you'll notice distinct layers, each serving critical functions in the fertility cycle. The topmost layer consists of freshly fallen leaves, twigs, and debris, the raw materials that fuel the entire system. Beneath this lies the duff layer, where decomposition is actively underway and organic matter is transforming from recognizable plant parts into dark, crumbly material teeming with life. Below that, you'll find the rich topsoil where organic matter has been fully integrated with mineral particles, creating the dark, sweet-smelling earth that gardeners dream about. This stratification isn't accidental, it's a perfectly orchestrated system of nutrient cycling, moisture management, and temperature regulation. The fresh litter layer acts as a protective blanket, moderating soil temperature swings that would otherwise stress soil organisms and plant roots. It intercepts rainfall, preventing erosion and allowing water to percolate slowly into the soil, rather than running off. As decomposition progresses through the layers, nutrients are released gradually, providing a steady supply rather than the feast or famine cycle created by conventional fertilization. The varying stages of decomposition also create diverse habitats for different organisms, from the springtails and mites that begin shredding fresh leaves to the earthworms that drag partially decomposed material deeper into the soil, mixing organic matter with minerals and creating the stable humus that defines fertile earth. Contrast this with conventional gardening, where we often leave soil surfaces bare or covered with inorganic mulches, till regularly to fluff up the earth and apply nutrients in concentrated, water-soluble forms. These practices work against natural fertility systems, disrupting fungal networks, accelerating organic matter decomposition beyond the rate we can replace it, and creating dependence on external inputs. The forest floor demonstrates that true fertility comes not from adding nutrients but from creating conditions where nutrients cycle efficiently and continuously. Translating forest wisdom into garden practice begins with embracing the concept of fungal dominance and continuous organic matter coverage. Start by adopting a strict no-dig philosophy in your growing areas. Every time you turn the soil with a spade or tiller, you're severing the delicate hyphal threads that take weeks or months to re-establish. Instead, work from the surface down, just as nature does. When preparing new beds, smother existing vegetation with thick layers of cardboard or newspaper. Then pile on diverse organic materials, leaves, wood chips, straw, compost, and any other plant-based materials you can source locally. The key word here is diverse. Forest floors don't receive just one type of leaf, they accumulate materials from dozens of plant species, each with different carbon-to-nitrogen ratios, lignin contents, and nutrient profiles. This diversity feeds different organisms and ensures a complete spectrum of nutrients becomes available over time. Seek out leaves from various trees, mix in some woody material for the fungi that specialize in breaking down lignin, and add herbaceous plant trimmings for quick nitrogen cycling. This heterogeneous approach creates niches for countless organisms, each contributing their specialized abilities to the fertility engine. Inoculating your garden with beneficial fungi accelerates the transition toward forest-like soil. While healthy soil contains these organisms naturally, decades of tillage and chemical inputs in many gardens have decimated fungal populations. You can reintroduce them by purchasing quality mycorrhizal inoculants and applying them at planting time, ensuring direct contact with plant roots. Alternatively, source a few bucketfuls of soil from a healthy, undisturbed forest area and mix it into your beds. You're essentially capturing a cross-section of that forest's microbial community. Brewing actively aerated compost tea from fungally dominated compost provides another effective inoculation method, delivering billions of beneficial organisms directly to your soil and plant surfaces. The chop and drop method deserves special emphasis as perhaps the most direct forest floor mimicry technique available to gardeners. Rather than removing plant debris, you simply cut plants at ground level and let the material fall where it grows. This creates instant mulch while leaving root systems intact to decompose in place, feeding soil organisms and maintaining the precious fungal networks. Dynamic accumulator plants like comfrey, which mine deep soil nutrients and concentrate them in their leaves, become particularly valuable in this system. A few strategically placed comfrey plants can be chopped multiple times per season, providing nutrient-dense mulch exactly where you need it. Embracing forest floor principles transforms your garden from a high-maintenance dependent into an increasingly self-sufficient ecosystem. The initial investment of time and materials pays dividends that compound year after year. As fungal networks establish and organic matter accumulates, your soil's water-holding capacity improves dramatically, reducing or even eliminating irrigation needs during dry spells. The thick organic mulch layer suppresses weeds by blocking light and creating conditions unfavorable to annual weed seeds, while simultaneously providing perfect habitat for beneficial ground beetles and spiders that patrol for pests. Perhaps most remarkably, your plants develop enhanced resilience to stress, disease, and pest pressure. The mycorrhizal associations you've fostered don't just improve nutrient uptake, they actually alter plant physiology, triggering defense responses and improving drought tolerance. Your garden becomes less a battlefield requiring constant intervention and more a balanced ecosystem where problems self-regulate before reaching crisis levels. You'll find yourself spending less time fighting problems and more time simply harvesting abundance. The journey toward forest-inspired fertility begins with observation and experimentation. Visit local wild areas and study how organic matter accumulates, noting which materials decompose quickly and which persist. Observe which plants thrive in these natural settings and consider incorporating native species into your garden design. They've co-evolved with local mycorrhizal fungi and often establish associations more readily than exotic varieties. Start small if you're feeling uncertain. Transform just one bed into a no-dig, heavily mulched zone and compare its performance to your conventional areas. The results will speak for themselves. As you implement these practices, remember that you're working with living systems that take time to mature. The first season might show modest improvements, but by year 3 or 4, you'll witness something truly magical. A garden that feeds itself, protects itself, and produces with minimal input from you. This is the promise of working with nature rather than against it, of understanding that fertility isn't something we create, but something we facilitate by providing the right conditions. If this vision of effortless abundance resonates with you, I encourage you to subscribe to the Humus Heritage and hit that notification bell so you never miss our deep dives into regenerative gardening wisdom. Share this guide with our fellow gardeners who are ready to stop fighting their soil and start partnering with it. Leave a comment describing your own observations of natural fertility systems or sharing your experiments with forest floor principles. Your insights might inspire someone else's breakthrough. Together, we're cultivating not just gardens, but a movement toward working in harmony with the profound intelligence of living soil. Thank you for joining me on this journey beneath the surface, where the real magic happens. Until next time, keep building that humus heritage.